asked about the bird of paradise and how it's a specific compensation for any type of forward swinging because of the shoulder pitch and the rotation as it opens out. It needs to be compensated for specifically. So one of the ways to do that is first, if you have limited, especially limited anterior delt, the first is to work on the hand cut. So you're coming down and turning the thumb back. To first start working on opening up that cavity. Until you can do that effectively, don't move on to the bird of paradise. But the entry to the bird of paradise is really the key. So think of getting into a straddle stance and taking the same arm down like you would in triangle pose. But get this elbow buried deep because you're going to internally rotate and then slide the back of your palm up your thigh. So you're working for greater height. If you can't get it up higher, think about bending over lower to get your shoulder on the inside of your knee. That will give you distance to bend your elbow and slide over the shelf of your glutes and thighs. And now you're ready. You're in the pose actually now. All you have to do is take the other hand, work on first a basic grip, bend into a sumo squat, and bring your legs together. Now it comes into balance because if you're not practicing your forest flow, you're not going to have the balance strength to work up into it. And from here, toe point, crown the coccyx, lift, and drive off the floor. So I prefer leaving the pose the way I entered it. So that's going to be a really important component to it. And those three counterpoints are what you're going to work on. Toe point, getting knee lock, crown to coccyx alignment, lifting your crown up towards the ceiling, and then driving your bottom foot into the ground. But once you master the pose, you can start to transition it to make it a full Prasara movement. As you're working on smoothing out the transition without superfluous movement, that's the focus of Prasara. Say with a threading bridge into bird of paradise. So you'd enter into it, say with a flat foot squat, work into your wheel, and as you transition out of your wheel, you should immediately be able to take your stance into bird of paradise. Continue the revolution from there. So you first work on the individual joint to restore its range of motion. Then you work into the full pose, going out of the pose the way you went into it, and then take that vinyasa all the way up into a full Prasara.